Welcome to my bathroom and to another skincare routine video. I'm gonna do a little bit of Gua Sha today too. I have become a huge Gua Sha addict. I wish I had time to do it every day. That's kind of the goal. But even if I can do it once or twice a week, I see really good results, and it's just a super soothing part of my skincare routine. It is mid-May here in Chicago, so we're sort of still in the spring transitioning into summer weather, which does impact my skincare. I would say that my skin has been pretty normal. It was really quite sensitive throughout pregnancy and immediate postpartum, but it seems to have like re-normalized. I really try and keep my skincare exceedingly simple. I am a skincare minimalist, but trying to juggle that with trying lots of different products is always a challenge. So I've curated a little routine here for you today, but I'll also show you the other things that I'm kind of using. I usually have anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 products per category in rotation. Some things I deviate more with, like cleansers, and some things I try and use the same thing over and over, like face oils, just because that's what works for my skin. The routine I'm going to show you could be AM or PM. I'm kind of making it flexible. Generally, this would be more of a PM skincare routine for me, but if I have time in the morning, I would do this Gua Sha routine in the morning as well. I am wearing some makeup. I just filmed another video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup removal, and then we'll get into the Gua Sha. To take off my makeup, this has not changed at all. If you have seen any of my past skincare routine videos, I take disposable organic cotton rounds. I know that there are reusable ones of these, but because I take my eye makeup off with it, I just don't think it's really quite worth it to use it to get reusable ones all stained. And I just take my makeup off with organic jojoba oil. It's easy. It's been working for me for years. I've never had any sort of congestion or, you know, eyelid problems because of it. So I just get them wet and I put the jojoba oil right on there. Okay, I am a dedicated first cleanse, second cleanse, no matter the season. I'm gonna use a brand new product. You can get this at the Detox Market. They actually sent it to me to try. It's the Pai Rosehip Cleansing Oil. I've been curious about it for a while, so I was really excited to see it. I believe it is a rinseable cleansing oil, and I do love a pump dispenser. I'll show you the other things I'm using after I start massaging this in. So I'm a big fan of Pai's Rosehip Oil, which I'm gonna show you a little later in this video. This feels really nice. Has a very light, well, I was gonna say it has a light citrus scent, but kind of not even. It just kind of smells like oil, which is a really nice smell. This would be great if you want an oil cleanser that is easy to use with the pump and is rinseable. That's not a prerequisite for me because I'm gonna use a washcloth to remove this, even if it is rinseable. In fact, oftentimes I prefer a cleansing oil or balm that isn't rinseable because I like the extra residue that's left behind. But let's see how this comes off with a washcloth. It did just rinse off my hands very easily, so there's that. I like that quite a bit. My skin feels really nice, really balanced. The other face oils, like first cleanse products that I'm currently using are Maya Chia The Great Cleanse, which is quite similar actually to this, but it does have like a lavender smell. I like it. I'm not sure I would buy it again, but I am enjoying using it, and it's got the really easy pump dispenser. And then I am also using for a balm option, and this is actually a really luxurious way to use this product, the Precious Skin Elixirs 24 karat Gold Luxe Restorative Balm. This is really primarily meant to be like an occlusive leave-on balm layer, but since I really don't have a need for balms like that, or I just don't use them that often in my skincare, it makes a beautiful cleansing balm. If you have a large jar of face balm around and you're looking to repurpose it, just use it as a cleansing balm. That one is like very luxe. I like doing that on like a Sunday pamper routine type of thing if I ever have the time to do that. Okay, now I would like to second cleanse my face. Today I'm going to use the 5 Divine All Seasons Bioadaptive Cleanser. I talked about this and showed it in my most recent video, the Mercedes Shops PR haul. Usually take 2 pumps like that, and then I get just a little bit of water to thin it out. And I just start going in. I had described this as sort of a milky clay cleanser hybrid, and I stand by that. I love this cleanser. It's potentially like one of my favorite second cleanses of all time. Obviously I would not use this as a first cleanse to remove makeup, but I really focus on massaging this and trying to leave it on my skin for at least like a minute or 2. Sometimes I'll even let it sit and go in with an extra pump, which I think I read as instructions on their website. And then a lot of times I will just sort of keep emulsifying it with water, like dipping my hands under the tap. This, more than like any second cleanser that I have or really have used, leaves my skin completely like balanced and neutral. It doesn't leave behind any product. It feels thoroughly cleansing in the like least stripping, balancing way possible. Really, really, really big fan of it as a second cleanse. So I'm just gonna now rinse it off with very lukewarm water. As far as other second cleanses I'm using, I have 2 in the shower back there. I have the Blissoma Gel Cleanser and the Pai Camellia and Rose Creamy Cleanser. Those are really, really good second cleanses. And then I also have the Evan Healy Rose Cleansing Milk that I'll use as a second cleanse. I really just sort of toggle between all of these. I also really like the Osmia Black Clay Facial Soap Bar as a second cleanse and the Iuna Artisanal Soap Bar as a second cleanse. I don't actually always second cleanse my face, especially in the fall and winter, but now that we're moving into spring and summer, I will pretty religiously do a second cleanse. If I'm not second cleansing and I'm using a balm, I sometimes will just take off the residual balm with a toner. This is sort of an extra step that I've been doing for the last like maybe year, and it's very extra and you don't have to do it, but I kind of think it makes a difference. Just take a mineral water, Evian or Aven, spray your face after you're totally done cleansing. And then the French way would be to take a tissue and to tissue that off per and into the gloss video that I saw, but I usually just pat it off with my face towel. And it just kind of neutralizes the skin, I guess, adds some additional minerals, neutralizes it from the tap water. Who knows if it's bogus, but I really like doing it. Okay, now this is specific to Gua Sha. When you are going to do Gua Sha, you don't really want to layer any water-based serums underneath your face oil. However, I do always do a toner. So today I'm going to use the 5 Enlightened Spring Hydrolot. I also am using the Blue Alchemy Toning Elixir. Yes, the letters are coming off. I had done some Instagram stories. I did a takeover for Beauty Heroes Instagram account. I posted that and I got a lot of DMs in the Beauty Heroes box that were like, oh, that started happening to my Blue Alchemy letters too. Who knows why? I do a very generous dousing of toner. I have a lot of toners. I'm also using Moon Anna Rose. This is always around. I love it. And Maya Chia the Optimist, this is like my favorite product Maya Chia does, and it's super, super hydrating. So if my skin is feeling dry, this is like more like an essence than a toner, and it is fantastic. Also, you can get that at the Detox Market. They are the ones that sent me that to try. I think it was in one of their bundles. I just like to give credit where credit is due for the PR samples that I get to try. Okay, so typically if I were not going to be doing Gua Sha, I might do a serum first. I have a bunch of vitamin C serums that have been kicking around and I'm trying to use, although it's Vitamin C can really dry out my skin, but my favorite is probably the Blue Alchemy Multi-C Serum. I've also been trying the Fit Glow Vita Active Serum, the Activist Signature Serum. I wish that this didn't have vitamin C. I wish it was just a straight hyaluronic acid because I really like the hyaluronic product that that Activist does. Sometimes I'll use this Audacity Papaya and Geranium Serum if I feel like an essential oil type of product. But for Gua Sha, this is the stone I'm going to use today. This is by Herbivore Botanics or Botanicals. I can't remember what that brand is called. I also have one that's shaped like this, but I really like this. And on my wish list is the Wild Wing Beauty Black Beautiful Empress Gua Sha stone. I will have that at some point in my life. Okay, so now it's a good time when you're doing Gua Sha. You need a face oil to give your face some slip, but it's a nice opportunity to use a face oil that's really gonna get worked in and penetrated. So I'm gonna be using this new to me face oil. I was sent this to test and try out. It's called La Coéss Revitalizing Nutrient Organic Face Oil. So this is quite a complex oil. You can see the color is extremely vibrant and beautiful. I think the most prominent ingredients in here are rosehip seed oil, sea buckthorn. It has like 15 different powerhouse oils like chia, jojoba, argan. A really great oil for Gua Sha. It's gonna, the Gua Sha is really gonna help all of those beautiful organic face oils sink into the skin. If you want something simpler, Pai Rosehip Bioregenerate Oil is one of my very favorites. It's just rosehip seed oil and it's super, super beautiful. And then I also have the 5 Yena Enlightened Spring Beauty Oil. And I have Lucent in the queue to test as well. But today we're gonna use La Coéss. So for Gua Sha, I really kind of load the face oil on. And I take it down here and on the back of my neck because you need to open up those channels to get an effective slip on the stone. So I'm probably using, that was probably like 6 to 8 drops on my face, another 3 to 4 all around the neck and jaw. So I look really greasy, but it's all gonna kind of get soaked in. For Gua Sha, there's a lot of, you know, not great tutorials out there. I actually have Gua Sha routine video on my channel that I would like to amend because I was just kind of going off of, I'm actually gonna moisturize my lips first. This is just Osmia Lip Doctor. I was going off of Gua Sha facials that I've had. There's a lot of different techniques for doing it. The one I'm gonna do today follows one of Brita Beauty's Gua Sha tutorials. I'm not gonna show you step by step because I consider the tutorial that I bought from her to be her intellectual property. So I'm just gonna speed up the footage and you can sort of generally see the routine. But if you want a really good Gua Sha routine to follow, I highly recommend going to Brita Beauty's website and purchasing one or several of her tutorials. So this is, I think, just the classic Gua Sha tutorial, and it's the one, it takes about 10 minutes to do. A lot of times I just put on Spotify or a podcast and it is like my moment of bliss. My girl Claire Gallagher from The Body Astrologer just started a podcast called The Cosmic Lifestyle Podcast and I am obsessed. So that's the Gua Sha done. If I have even a little bit of extra time, the icing on the cake is a jade roller. This is just like kind of a nice cooling sensation on the skin after the Gua Sha, which can bring up a little bit of heat in the skin, at least on me. It can make my cheeks a little bit red, but today actually looking pretty good. This feels especially amazing around the eyes. I don't have a whole lot of rhyme or reason for how I do this, just kind of what feels good. Okay, so if it were nighttime, the thing that I like to do to lock in any oil, sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, but if I want to do an additional step after the oil, I will put a little bit of the Iuna Cream 2 over top. So I'm going to do a little bit of that right now, just a tiny bit. If it is daytime, all I would do is go over with an SPF. And my two favorites for that are, hold please, Iuna Velo, which was featured in Beauty Heroes last month. I did a whole review of this. I love it, it's amazing, super expensive. And Blissoma Phototonic. Now this has since changed packaging, I believe, but for a much more affordable and still very effective, amazing tinted moisturizer SPF, these are my two favorites. A lot of people like Josh Rosebrook Nutrient Day Cream, that's a nice one as well. Trying to think. Demamiel Exhale, I was sort of on. Not tinted, but there is also Honua Malu, I think it's called, and the Kerry Grand 365. Those are nice, but they have a little bit more of a white cast and they're a little bit more heavy and moisturizing. So these are my two favorites for daytime. That's kind of it. I think I already showed you lips. For during the day, I use Osmia Lip Doctor. I also use the Meow Meow Tweet lip balm that was featured in the Beauty Heroes Living Lighter Discovery at night. Since postpartum, my lips just underwent such a time. They were just really, really dry and chapped. And I use the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask every night, and I haven't had any problems since. Also, the weather has changed, so that might be part of it too. The only other thing I would use at night would be an eye-specific product. Since I just did Gua Sha, all that good oil just kind of got up around my eye. But for nighttime, I will use the Arcona Eye Dew because it's very, very moisturizing. Even though it says AM, I've never used this as an AM eye product. I also will use Stark Astral sometimes at night. This is an oil roller ball. And then for during the day, I tend to alternate between the Fit Glow Eye C Firm and the Pai Echium and Argan Gentle Eye Cream. This is really, really lightweight. Sometimes I use this at night too. This is more of like a firming cooling, so I consider it not quite as moisturizing for during the evening. And then the only other thing, because I kind of can't seem to make short videos, I have been doing a dedicated neck or décolleté treatment. I really enjoy the Skin El Neck Plus Super Smoothing and Contouring Neck Concentrate. This is really nice for in the morning because it's very cooling and refreshing. That's kind of a tour of what's going on here as far as skincare. I always have new products coming in and out of rotation, so maybe I'll try and do like in the middle of summer type of skincare routine, because if I remember from last summer, I was basically using like 1 drop of face oil for my whole face. My skin was, I don't know, being weird during pregnancy, so it might be a little bit different this year. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments below. I will have links to everything down below. Let me know what your thoughts on La Coéss are, if you've heard of this brand or tried it. It's really nourishing and really quite lovely. So if you have any product recommendations for me, I would be curious to hear what's going on in your skincare routine, anything you think I need to try. Obviously, I can never get enough when it comes to skincare and beauty products. Thank you so much for being here. You can always find me on Instagram and especially on Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone that supports L'Amour et la Musique on Patreon. I really, really appreciate your support, and I love making bonus content over there for you. I will look forward to seeing all of you in my next video, hopefully very soon.